You know that feeling you get sometimes, that little nudge from your body, like a persistent whisper you can't quite figure out? Well, guess what? It's real. Our bodies are talking to us all the time, sending us signals in their own unique language.
And honestly, right now, your body might be trying to warn you about something pretty important. The real question is,
Are you really paying attention to that nagging thirst you can't seem to quench? Or that feeling of being totally wiped out for no good reason? These aren't just random annoyances, they're messages. And today, we're going to learn exactly how to decode them. Okay, so to really understand these signals, we've got to peek behind the curtain at the science. And it all boils down to what happens when there's too much sugar or glucose in your blood. There's a technical term for it, hyperglycemia. So here's how it works. It all kicks off when glucose starts to pile up in your bloodstream. Now, your kidneys are amazing little filters, right? But when there's way too much sugar, they have to go into complete overdrive to deal with it. Eventually, they just get overwhelmed. So what do? They start flushing all that extra glucose out through your urine. But, and this is the absolutely crucial part, glucose doesn't go alone. It grabs a whole lot of water and pulls it out of your body with it. And that, right there, leads directly to dehydration. This simple chain reaction is the key to understanding everything else. So let's connect that science to our very first signal, something you can actually feel. This is where the biology we just talked about becomes a real, everyday experience for a lot of people.
ugh, you know this feeling. It's so frustrating, right? You feel like you're dying of thirst, so you chug a huge glass of water. But then, a little while later, you're running to the bathroom, and surprise, you're thirsty all over again. It feels like a nonstop loop you just can't get out of.
So the most important thing is to connect the dots, understanding why you feel what you feel. That constant need to go to the bathroom, that's just your kidneys working overtime trying to flush out all that extra sugar. And that intense, unquenchable thirst, well, that's your body's emergency alarm system screaming at you to replace all the water it's losing in the process. And this little diagram just lays it out perfectly. See? These aren't two separate, random problems. They're locked together in the same chain reaction. The frequent urination is what causes the dehydration, and that dehydration is what triggers the intense thirst. It's a direct cause and effect cycle. Okay, now let's talk about feeling tired. I mean, have you ever felt completely drained, even after you got a full night's sleep, and you just cannot figure out why? Well, that very same glucose overload is often the main culprit here too. And we're not just talking about a little afternoon slump here. This is a deep fatigue, a bone-deep exhaustion that just seems to hang around no matter how much you rest. So what on earth is going on? And here is the wild irony of the whole situation. Your blood is literally swimming with energy in the form of glucose, but your body's cells can't use any of it. The glucose is basically locked out, stuck in the bloodstream, unable to get into the cells where it's needed for fuel. So your cells are starving, and that's what makes you feel exhausted. On top of that, add in the dehydration we just talked about, and you've got a perfect 1-2 punch to your energy levels. So we've broken down two huge signals now, and the real key is to stop looking at them as isolated things. You know, a random thirst over here, a little tiredness over there, and start seeing them as a collective message. Your body is trying to tell you a story. So here's the most important point. These symptoms together are your body's warning system in action. That crazy thirst and all those bathroom trips are directly linked to your kidneys trying to manage too much sugar. And that deep, dragging fatigue, that's a sign of a massive energy crisis happening at the cellular level. When you see them all together, they paint a crystal clear picture. Just paying attention is the first and most important step you can take. So just take a moment, check in with yourself. Think about these signals we've talked about. Now that you know the language, now that you can decode the signs, what is your body trying to tell you? Just a quick and important reminder, this explainer was created for educational purposes, and it is definitely not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, please always consult a qualified healthcare professional.